Have you ever smelled something so bad it literally changed the course of history? Well, let me take you back to London, summer of 1858. It was a scorching hot summer, and the city was in the grip of a crisis that came to be known as the Great Stink. This wasn't just a bad smell. It was an event so powerful, it brought the world's most powerful empire to its knees and forced a revolution in how we think about our cities. So, what exactly was happening? For centuries, Londoners had been dumping everything you can imagine into the River Thames. We're talking human waste, animal carcasses, industrial chemicals, everything. The river wasn't just a waterway, it was an open sewer. For a long time, this was just a fact of life. But by the mid-19th century, London's population had exploded to over 2 million people. The old medieval systems just couldn't cope. The invention of the flushing toilet in the early 1800s, meant to be a modern convenience, actually made the problem much worse. All that waste was now being efficiently piped directly from homes into the already overloaded sewers, which then emptied straight into the Thames. Then came the summer of 1858. A long, dry heat wave hit the city. The water level in the Thames dropped, and the slow-moving, thick, black sludge baking in the sun began to ferment. The stench was unimaginable. It wasn't just a background odor, it was a physical presence. People reported feeling nauseous and getting headaches just from being near the river. The smell was so strong it was said to seep into every corner of the city, staining curtains and clothes. You couldn't escape it. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The stench became so overwhelming that it started to affect the very heart of the British Empire, the Houses of Parliament, which sit right on the banks of the Thames. Politicians and lawmakers, the people running the country, found it impossible to work. They tried everything to block out the smell. They soaked their curtains in chloride of lime, a strong disinfectant, hoping to neutralize the foul air. They stuffed their handkerchiefs with scented herbs and held them to their noses. But nothing worked. The Great Stink was literally invading the halls of power. Imagine trying to debate national policy when the air you're breathing makes you want to throw up. It got so bad that they seriously considered abandoning London altogether and moving the entire government to Oxford or St. Albans. At the time, the prevailing scientific belief about how disease spread was the miasma theory. People thought that diseases like cholera and typhoid were caused by bad air or miasmata, foul-smelling vapors, rising from decaying organic matter. And with the Thames smelling like a giant open grave, everyone was terrified. They genuinely believed the smell itself could kill them. This fear was a powerful motivator. Cholera outbreaks had ravaged London in previous decades, killing tens of thousands. So when the Great Stink arrived, people weren't just disgusted, they were panicked. This terror finally spurred the politicians into action. For years, there had been talk and debate about building a modern sewer system, but it was always pushed aside due to the enormous cost and political squabbling. One man, an engineer named Joseph Bazalgette, had already drawn up a brilliant and ambitious plan back in 1856. His vision was a massive network of intercepting sewers that would run parallel to the Thames. These sewers would catch the waste before it reached the river and carry it far downstream, east of the city, where it could be safely released into the sea on the outgoing tide. It was a genius solution, but it was expensive, and Parliament had been dragging its feet for years. The Great Stink changed everything. In just 18 days, a period of frantic political activity driven by pure olfactory desperation, Parliament passed an act empowering the construction of Bazalgette's sewer system. The government, which had argued for years over the cost, suddenly found the money. The bill was rushed through with astonishing speed. The politicians essentially held their noses and signed on the dotted line. They couldn't stand the smell for one more minute. What followed was one of the greatest engineering feats of the 19th century. Over the next decade, Bazalgette and his team of thousands of workers built over 1,300 miles of sewers and 82 miles of mains. intercepting sewers under the streets of London. It was a colossal undertaking. They used 318 million bricks and excavated over 3.5 million cubic yards of earth. Bazalgette was meticulous. He insisted on using the highest quality Portland cement and designed the egg-shaped tunnels to ensure a self-cleaning flow. He famously calculated the required pipe diameter and then said, "Well, we're only going to do this once," and doubled it. That foresight is why much of his system is still in use today, serving a city many times larger than the one it was built for. The project also involved building massive, ornate pumping stations, like the ones at Abbey Mills and Crossness. These weren't just functional buildings, they were works of art, often called cathedrals of sewage. They housed enormous steam-powered beam engines that would lift the sewage from the low-level sewers up into the main outflow pipes. The impact was immediate and profound. Once the new system was operational, the Thames began to clean itself. The constant flow of raw sewage stopped, and the river slowly started to recover. More importantly, the cholera epidemics that had plagued London virtually disappeared from the areas served by the new sewers. Although the miasma theory that drove the project was wrong, cholera is waterborne, not airborne. As physician John Snow had argued years earlier, the solution worked perfectly. By cleaning up the source of the contaminated water, the River Bazalgette inadvertently stopped the spread of the disease. The Great Stink of 1858 is a powerful lesson in how a crisis can force progress. It completely reframed the way people thought about public health and sanitation. It was no longer just a personal or local issue. It was a matter of critical public infrastructure, as essential to a city's life as its roads or bridges. The legacy of Joseph Bazalgette's work isn't just in the bricks and pipes under London. It's in the blueprint it created for modern cities all over the world. It proved that large-scale, ambitious government investment in public health could save lives and transform urban living. So, the next time you're in London and you see the relatively clean River Thames, remember the summer of 1858. Remember the smell that was so awful it forced a nation to build one of the wonders of the modern world. It's a strange but true story of how progress can sometimes come from the most foul-smelling of places. This video was brought to you by GX Works. Thanks for watching. If you found this story fascinating, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into the weird and wonderful corners of history. See you next time.